What's going on, guys? Apparently, Destiny spoke about Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson. Let's take a look at this, man. I'll give you guys my honest opinion. Get straight into the video.
So the way I try to think through my own life and the way that I encourage other people to think through theirs is, what is my goal and what are the actions that I can take that are going to get me to my goal? So when I think of what you've been doing over the last, call it 2 years, you've really made yourself the go-to liberal that people on either side of the spectrum are going to want to engage with. And you really have made, You're
taking deep breaths already. Oh my gosh. It's too much pressure. Way too much pressure.
You've been incredibly respectful. You've been very thoughtful. You are extremely good in debating. And so suddenly it felt like we had two sides that could really come together. And the response to the debate that you did with Ben Shapiro on Lex, I think, is proof of that. Huge number of views. And we got to see really different vantage points politically.
So that's the scale. That's the scale for the debate. What is it? How many views it gets? Whoa. I'm gonna have to disagree with that one, my guy.
Coming together to have a fruitful conversation. Then after Corey was killed and your reaction came out, that was very inflammatory, I would say. It seemed intentionally inflammatory. I was like, are you now...
Destiny always want to just get the clout and the views and the clicks. That's what he's aiming for, the clout and the views and the clicks.
Rebranding, like what you're trying to put forward, like I'm done pretending to be civil and nice, and this is where I really wanted to be the whole time. Exactly. Or are you going to renormalize? Like, walk me through the dramatic change in presentation.
So the way that my YouTube editor gave me kind of this idea, in that I kind of like, I can have long legs and short arms, or I can have long arms and short legs, that at my most aggressive, I have very short legs, but very long arms, meaning that if I get you in my grasp, I'm going to be incredibly compelling, because I'm going to be making very strong arguments in the most aggressive manner possible with the most overwhelming style of argumentation. But my legs are very short at that point. I can't get out of my community very much because people just see me as being incredibly aggressive. And they're like, okay, I want to talk to this guy. Like, this guy's like way too, he's way too mean and debatey or whatever. I think before I had very long legs.
That's a wild tactic. I guess it works with certain streamers because of the entertainment factor, right? Whatever. My only problem is that he actually is trying to insinuate that he's debating better by doing that. And I disagree.
But very short arms. And that, I hate that comment that you just made. It actually has been eating away at my brain for months. And I've complained about this on stream. This has been building for probably for the entire year. If you go and you look at the debates that I've done with Candace Owens, with Jordan Peterson, with Ben Shapiro, the comments under all these videos are the exact same. Wow, what a nice debate. It's so nice that these people have spoken to each other. Wow, cool that we can come together and talk. Wow, what a nice debate. I hate that because nobody's actually considering any of the things being said. They're just happy that two people can sit in a room and talk to each other. However, for me to do this requires me to blunt my...
You don't like the fact that you're able to have a peaceful discussion with people? You're mad that both sides are able to appreciate the conversation? Whoa. This dude's nasty.
Perception of the world is so much, and to blunt my desired engagement with some of the things that people are saying, it is physically excruciating for me. It is psychologically destroying me. That like an example that I give for Ben Shapiro is I had this whole train of I'll plot out rhetorically and factually how I want to think about a debate before I go into it, and all these notes are public. I talk about this on stream. And for Ben Shapiro, I had this whole line of, I want to prove to you that you guys treat Donald Trump differently than you guys treat Joe Biden. You grade him on a curve. And I asked him that question in the Lex Fridman debate. I was like, do you think that you guys grade Donald Trump on a curve? And he was like, yeah, of course. And I was like, oh, and it just like short circuited my brain.
And do you think that if Trump wins, there will be no more elections? Is that like what
I
put
don't
a percentage
know.
on it? What percentage do you think that that's a reality? That if Donald Trump
wins,
president,
I think there is a 100% chance that he will try to prevent the peaceful transfer of power. In terms of would he succeed?
I can guarantee you he will not do that.
Why is that?
Because he's in his second term and he's no longer eligible, and he will believe he won and he will leave.
Yeah, but hasn't Donald Trump himself joked about running for a third term? I think that having a third term.
What has Donald Trump not joked about? I mean, for God's sake.
Okay, hold on.
If you want to prevent him from creating a revolution, you probably should actually just appoint him president, and then he can't run again.
Here's another broad argument that I don't like in favor of Trump, and this was brought up earlier in terms of like we talk about like not grading presidents on a curve, but then earlier we said we take Biden's rhetoric.
Oh no, I totally grade Trump. I 100% grade presidents on a curve. Are you kidding?
Oh, okay.
I grade pretty much everybody on a curve.
Then I feel like
I don't treat my 7-year-old the same way that I treat my 9-year-old.
Sure, but I don't like that. Obama. It feels like we're treating Donald Trump like a 7-year-old or a 9-year-old. I think we should treat him like the president of the United States. I don't think having a president that has taken like concrete steps to prevent the transfer of power, which he did with the electorate sham, which he did with the
hyper focused on one example, right? He said, and the fact that I'm defending Ben Shapiro is crazy, because I'm not really a Ben Shapiro fan necessarily. I'm more of a Candace Owens fan. But his statement was, he said he grades everyone on a curve. And then he gave you an example of the children, right? If what I'm reading him saying is correct, I would hold the president to a different standard than I would the average person, because I'm grading everyone on a curve. That's what I think is what he's saying.
And what you did with trying to capitalize on the J6 violence, a president that's taken concrete steps towards coupping the government, essentially. I don't know why that guy, we'd say, well, it's Trump, he does Trump things. The guardrails held, I'll probably hold next time.
I mean, when we say we shouldn't, do you mean that he should be actually barred from office?
I'm just talking about support for him. I don't even think Republicans should support Trump. You lose your incumbent advantage. The guy's obviously self-destructive. He's destructive to the political party itself. I could have had a 2-hour conversation.
Telling people who they should support is nasty work, Destiny. That's nasty work.
On just that topic alone. And I don't like that I've had these conversations with people, and all I feel like I'm doing is I'm shortening the Overton window, where you have all of these insane people, the Hassans, the Voshes, the people far on the left that in my opinion are just insane. And then you've got these insane far right people that I would say right now is the majority of the conservative movement that all follow Donald Trump. And what happens is when I show up to debate, I'm not as crazy as these guys, so I'm here. What happens is when I show up to debate, I've shortened the Overton window, and now the viewers are like, oh, okay, well, this guy seems cool and reasonable. He's representing something. So like, maybe I'll move from like here to like here. But now I have much stronger conviction because I see that like this guy's represented the left, and I've heard their arguments, and now I'm like over here. And it's like, no, to be clear, like my position might be here, but in my mind, the reasonable discourse is like from here to like here. Like these guys.
He wants you to turn to a lefty. He wants to go out there and change your own personal opinion and persuade you to be a lefty. That's nasty work, bro. That's nasty work. I don't like that, right? My personal opinion is my opinion. I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion. That's probably why I don't like debating anymore. I used to a lot, but then the fact of people, or the fact that there's people like Destiny, that their whole goal in life and their mission is to change people's opinions, and that's why they want to go, because they want to like take fans and persuade people to be like, that sounds crazy to me. I'm not on that type of wave. Do what you want to do. It is what it is. That's how I feel.
Guys that I'm talking to over here, that I'm being nice to and I'm being cordial to, are absolutely insane. Like we are on a crash course for this country to like into oblivion, and I have to talk to these guys like they're normal, intelligent, thinking human beings. Like I have to sit across from Jordan.
That's crazy. You say, oh, this discusses stuff about Jordan Peterson or Ben Shapiro or Candace Owens now. You didn't have that smoke when you was in front of them. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Peterson saying, oh, 20% excess deaths in Europe are all caused by the vaccine. And I'm like, huh,
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That's a take. Yeah. Or yeah. I could, there's a million examples, but it's not good. It's not okay. It's not cool.
Okay. So I want to understand that very last part. It's not okay. It's not good. It's not cool. It implies that there is a destination that you're trying to get to. What is that destination?
I think before before 6 days ago, I think my destination was always like trying to present a more understandable argument on my side and kind of like move people a little bit closer, meet them where they were and move them a little bit closer. But I think, especially as I've begun to read more, I feel like the time is running shorter on that. So now my focus has very violently and very abruptly shifted to, okay, well, if you're a liberal, here are the reasons why you should care about these particular things. And here are the 3 arguments that you need to be beating every single conservative over the head with from now until the election. And you don't talk about anything else until you've run through these 3 things. Nothing else is allowed to be spoken about until you've gotten this. It's insane that they're allowed to skirt by on these things and nobody.
It's crazy. Now he's telling not only people how to think and to persuade you to go to the left, now he's trying to tell you how to debate. If you're on the left debating someone who is conservative, who the hell does Destiny think he is, bro? This dude is crazy.
He makes them account for them. That's where I'm at right now, basically. Yeah.
What?
Okay, so the 3 things that you want to go over and over, I don't remember all 3, but I know that January 6th is one that
it was an insurrection. Yeah, it's their reasonable minds cannot disagree on this point.
Okay, so the goal behind getting every conservative to confront those things, namely the insurrection, just cannot be looked past, is to get them to vote for Biden, to get them to break out of cult-like thinking. What is the end game to that confrontation?
Him to give views, subscribers, and build a following. That's what he's aiming for. That's his goal.
Levers, I think, when it comes to mobilizing voters in a 2-person race, you can either
and is that the goal? Mobilize voters in a 2-person race?
Kind of. Well, there's 4 things. There's 4 ways to do it. You can either increase or decrease the turnout on your side, or you can increase or decrease the turnout on the other side. So I guess my goal is to decrease the turnout on the other side by demotivating, hey, the guy that you're voting for is an insurrectionist. Okay. Here are the reasons why you should not like this candidate. Even if you're conservative, you shouldn't like this candidate. And then on my side, it's to increase, it's to motivate. So, hey, this is a really important election, regardless.
This is why you shouldn't. Shut up. Shut your ass up. Police sirens in the background. Right? Is that police sirens or ambulance? I don't remember. I think this guy sounds crazy, but that's just my personal opinion. Tell me what yours is down in the comment section.